welcome everyone. This is my very first video of myself cooking, so I apologize for any mistakes that I make along the way. Um, Everybody's always telling me that they love my cooking, so I figure I'll make a video about how to make one of our favorite meals right now. This is something I was going to be making today anyway, so I figure I practice with it, taking the video, and I show you guys how to do it. Today we will be making what our family calls yellow food, and the only reason we call it that is because it was a recipe given to me by one of my neighbors, and her son started calling that yellow food when he was just a little kid, and it just stuck. So now we continue to call it yellow food, but it really is a buffalo chicken and potato casserole that we will be making today. So I'll be right back with you to show you exactly what you need. So for this recipe today, for the buffalo chicken and potato casserole, we will be needing some potatoes. I have about 4 of them. I don't want to make a big batch. If you want to make more, you could use, a small bag of the little potatoes that already come, just the little tiny potatoes, and just cut those in half. You could really technically use any potato that you have at home: raw said potato, yellow potato, red potatoes. I happen to have red potatoes for today, so I'm using 4 potatoes that I'm going to be cubing into small pieces, about 1 inch big. The recipe normally doesn't call for this, but I like to add my own kick to things. So I have an onion that I'm going to be cutting up and adding to my potatoes. I have a bag of Mexican cheese. You'll need some red hot buffalo sauce. You could do any hot sauce. It doesn't have to be red hot. I just happen to have the Frank's buffalo sauce, so I'm going to be using that. I also used one of these of the French onion. Those are so delicious by themselves. I love to eat them just like that, but for this occasion I'm going to be actually putting it in the recipe instead of eating the whole bag. And we also need some ranch dressing, and I'm actually missing some green onions, so I'm going to go get that, and then I'll start to cook with y'all. Well, it looks like I don't have the bag, the green onions, so I'm going to do without. It's okay, it doesn't really need it. You can sprinkle those at the end when you finish cooking, if you do have them. If you don't, if you like regular onions on top, you could do that as well. I personally love onions, so I would probably leave some of the ones I'm going to chop now remaining, and just throw them in there on the top at the end. I'm already having the oven heating up at 450 degrees, and that's already doing this job. Let me cut the onion. I have already pre-washed the potatoes, so if you all haven't done that already, go right ahead and mash those up. This is about how big I did them. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Cooking is an art. Unlike baking, when you're baking, you need precise ingredients, and you have to measure everything for cooking. That's why I love cooking. I'm not a baker by any means, so you won't be seeing me baking anything, at least not for a long time, not unless I have a really good recipe that I want to give it a try. But no, I rather cook. I like to be free with my ingredients. I don't like measuring anything. I just like to go by my eyes, and then it's, cooking, like I said, it's an art. If you like cooking, you already know that you just need plenty of seasoning. Never skimp with the salt. If you're trying to watch your salt intake, of course you want to do that, and then just make sure that you do some extra seasonings like garlic powder, onion powder, things of that nature, so that you actually get really good flavor in your food without the additional salt. My potatoes cut already, so I will leave the chicken to be cut later, because now what we have to do is put them in a bowl. Put the potatoes in a bowl, and then we're going to throw them in the microwave, believe it or not, for about 8 minutes, and that what that's going to do is going to help the potatoes get a little soft, and then we're going to throw them in the oven at 450, like it's heating up right now, for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then that's going to make them crispy, soft on the inside, crispy on the outside. Okay, I'll be right back with you, and I'll be cutting my chicken in the meantime. Hi everyone, so I am back. Actually, may grab my chicken. I cut my chicken in a separate cutting board to cut the chicken or any poultry in the same cutting board as I cut my vegetables. So I already cut the chicken. I'm using, the recipe actually calls for chicken breast, but I like to use chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs instead, because I like the dark meat better. I think that it has better flavor, so I rather use that. So that's what I do. Buffalo sauce you're gonna be using, and then throw that on top of with the potatoes once I take them out and I cook them for about 20 to 25 minutes, which I'm gonna be doing soon. But first I'm gonna go ahead and season the meat and let it sit there to season and marinate while the potatoes are cooking. Again, the recipe calls only for red hot, but I don't ever follow any recipe to the T. I like to add more seasonings because I think more seasoning is better. So I'm going to be doing that. Throw my chicken into the marinade bowl. Some of the red hot. So I'm going to be using black pepper, garlic powder, paprika, some Larry salt seasoning, and some onion powder that I have here. And that's good. More flavor is better. Okay, y'all, I forgot two things. I forgot to throw my onions with the potatoes before I throw them in the oven. And I also forgot a key ingredient, which is bacon. I'm gonna take about 6 slices of bacon, and then I'm defrosting them right now because they were still frozen. I'm going to take 6 slices, put them in a plate. It has to be obviously a microwave safe dish. Put some napkins on there, throw 6 slices, put another napkin on top, put it in the microwave for about 4 minutes until they get crispy. I love to do bacon like that, especially if you only make a bacon for just yourself and maybe your significant other, then you don't need to, make a mess in the stove, and the grease stays within the paper towel, and it's just easy to throw away and clean your plate right after. So I'm going to go ahead and add the onions to my potatoes, mix them in, put them back to cook, and make my bacon, and I'll be back with you. I'm liberal with it. I like ranch, so I'm just throwing it on the top, just like this. All right. I leave the French onions for the end because I find that they're already crispy, so no need to go ahead and make them extra crispy. They just warm up at the end. I'll throw them for the last like 5 minutes or so. I throw them. I'm going to go ahead and throw these on top. Normally I will be throwing the green onions at the very end after the cheese is melted, but I don't have that, so I'm just adding this there. It's going to cook, but it's probably not going to be as cooked as the ones that I threw in there earlier with the potatoes. So definitely really cooked right now. Go ahead and throw the cheese. It calls for the Mexican mix, I think, or cheddar. You can use whatever you have, whatever cheese you like on the top. I think a lot of people probably prefer cheddar. As I mentioned earlier, last time I had some blue cheese, so I added very little, just a little on the top mixed with this. The cream, I think the blue cheese is great because since it is a buffalo chicken potato casserole. I think blue cheese and potatoes is perfect. Gonna go ahead and throw the bacon on the top. It's already pre-cooked, nice and crispy, but it's still going to get even crispier as the chicken cooks. All right, now this goes right back into the oven. Let me go wash my hands. That goes back into the oven. I'm going to lower the oven to 400 instead of 450. I'm just going to lower really quickly. I'm going to grab my throw the casserole back in the oven. You can leave that there for just about 40 minutes or so. Time 40 minutes. I'm going to do 35 first and check it. I don't want anything to be overcooked. You don't want dry chicken. I mean, it is the chicken thighs. If you have chicken breast, definitely check it before the 40 minutes mark is over, because you don't want dry white breast, chicken breast. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and clean up, and then I'll be back with y'all when the 40 minutes is over. All right, everyone, I am back over here. I actually checked my chicken around the 30-minute mark, and it's looking good. As I mentioned, if you have chicken breast, you might want to go a little less, maybe 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. The thighs take a little bit longer, I find, so I left about 30 minutes in here. So it's looking nice and brown. Let me put it, see that? Now I'm going to go ahead and lower this to 375 and throw this yummy crispy onion on the top, the whole thing. You could do less if you like less, but I love that. I love them. I'm gonna put them back for about 3 minutes or so, just enough to get them nice and golden. And that's it. That is how you make a buffalo and potato chicken casserole. And that's it. I know this is crazy video and it's not perfect. It's actually my very first video that I'm giving a try. I'm going to share it anyways. Please feel free to criticize it. That's how I'm going to learn. I'm going to do more research about doing this. I just decided to do it just because, hey, I'm home and I could do it. I have the time to do it. People are always asking me how to cook this, how to cook that. So I figured, you know what? Why not just start to videotape it, get better as I go, and we go along. And you guys could go along in the ride with me as I continue to learn how to do these YouTube videos. I'm going to the next recipe I'm going to give a try is the rice and beans or arroz con gandules. The people are always asking me how to make it, and I find myself constantly telling them, you know, what to get, how to make it. So I might as well just give it a try. And just that way I could just, hey, go to my YouTube channel and you'll see the recipe and exactly how I'll make it there. And I don't have to repeat myself over and over again. Not that I don't love helping my people, but hey, if I don't have to do it, why not? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm going to provide the recipe below. I know it wasn't perfect the way I did it, but you know, you guys are going to learn with me and as we continue this YouTube channel. Thank you and have a blessed day.